Your Majesties, Kings and Queens, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Thank you so much for clicking again. Hope you're well in all that you do and you're loving yourself and others. Like always, if you're new here, why not subscribe to the channel? And again, join. I think I've not talked about this. We are now able to create a more private community. When you join, automatically there's going to be a particular star attached to your name, so whenever you leave a comment, I will immediately know that you are a member of the channel already, like full member, like you are one of my majesties, right? And of course, one of the perks attached to it is always you're going to get a reply from me, no matter how busy I am, no matter how bulky the comment is. Your comment is going to come up first for me to see, and I'm going to prioritize your comments, because most of the times as the family grows, you know, the number increases, there are lots of comments to attend to, there are lots of things to do. I know it's not easy to organize something like this, especially when you have a family. It's not easy. You have to attend to this, attend to that, and still have to communicate with you. So when you join the community, it's like you're part of me already, and there are things that will be shared in that community that will be only for the members of the channel. I think you understand. Like when I talk about things that will be shared, it will be things about our lives as people, you know, as a melanated. There are some things I wouldn't want to share publicly. I will just put it there for only the channel members. So these are some of the perks that comes with it, and a little token will be out of your account every month, like, you understand me, so that you help us grow and we grow together. I hope you understand, your majesties, my kings and queens. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you so much for the super thanks, all of you that always strive for this channel to keep growing, and for me to always every day come out to give you something to ponder about as a people. All right, let's not waste your time, your majesties. Today we are here for the Japanese. There was a video I made about the Asians. Like, I was like, they're claiming to be African. All of a sudden everybody's claiming to be African, but there are iotas of truth, and some of you brought me to it, and ever since that time I started doing some research into if Asians were originally blacks, like if they were originally blacks, like not the blackness of the sun, but the blackness in the melanin. That's, you get my point, what I and you have originally, if they really have this. Because one of their professors came out with some findings that the Chinese have some percent of the African DNA in them. So that pushed me. I was like, wow, though, is this real, for real? Because if you see the rate of reticism from this end of the Asians, like the Japanese, the Chinese, you get my point, is that it's not new anymore. When you see the rate of reticism done to the melanated people, you ask yourself, but do you think they really have this in them? If they really have this in them, why do they have it in them to be so racist to people that they shared something with? That was when I started my research, and I discovered that the present day Japanese are a bit different from those times, and they themselves are aware of it. But why are these things hidden from the public? Why do they not talk about it like often? You get my point. Now, the mainstream media want us to believe that blacks only arrived Japan in the 16th century, which obviously wasn't true, because there were blacks prior to that time already in Japan. All right, now the mainstream media wants us to believe that in the 16th century Africans arrived Japan alongside Europeans as crew members and slaves, right? And that after the World War II, when Japan soared, like in terms of economy and the rest of them, you remember all those times they do talk the Asian tigers, the whatever you, right? All right, that many students from Africa began moving to Japan for pursuit of postgraduate education, and the sub-Saharan African ancestry. A lot of them have some DNA that traced back to the sub-Saharan African ancestry. So they are not telling us that it's slave trading that took them there. Now I got something that will shock you, and the reason why I'm so certain is that Dr. Umar also had something to say, which I'm going to show you as this video progresses. Right now, what I discovered was that at about 35,000 BC, a group of Mongoloids, later known as Jomon, entered Japan. They became the first humans to inhabit the Japanese island. They became the first humans to inhabit the Japanese island. Now you can go back and do your research on the africaresource.com, or you get one of the book of Rasta Library. Don't know if I get that right. Anyway, you're going to see some of these things there. It is there. These are facts. And what baffles me is that why is it that these facts are not publicized? Why is it that the Western media don't talk about this fact? They only touch the ice, the tip of the iceberg. They don't go deeper into it. Why? Is there an agenda behind it? These are questions that you should ponder in your mind as we go ahead. All right. Now, and that later, another group of people known as the Ainu, A-I-N-U, the Ainu followed. All right, I keep saying this. When I was doing the video of who really discovered America, I said Africans, Al-Kabilans. There was a time that this great migration started, that our ancestors, our ancient fathers, the humans, they spread everywhere around the world, they scattered everywhere around the world. They were moving out and discovering places. And I believe it was around this time that this set of people arrived the Japanese island, and they were the first to inhabit the Japanese island. These people are often melanated. They have the African DNA. All right, let's go further. Now it's now said that their genes can still be found in 40% modern Japanese, right? Their genes, the genes of these Mongoloids, of these Ainus, their genes can still be found in 40% of modern day Japanese. To tell you that these people are aware of this, they know these things. They know that they have African ancestry. They know these things. So it's not just when that professor came out, because it was like, wow, why are you not saying we have African ancestry? Why are you not saying we have the African DNA in us? Because I was a bit shocked, because when you rate the level of racism towards the melanated, you will never believe that these people have African ancestry. You never believe that they have the African DNA in them. And it is also proven that 40% of them today have this in them, and they are aware of it. And to further prove this is the statement from that professor that I talked about last time when I was talking about the Chinese people, because they are together there. They're Asians, right? Okay, and as well as the Mongolians and the Tibetans. The Mongolians and the Tibetans, they have 40% of these ancient African DNA in them. Now, these same original people were and are still being discriminated against, and they are aware of it. Those superior powers in Japan are aware of it. Now, why do you think they deprive these people? Because they don't want them to acquire their rightful place. They don't want them to take up their inheritance. Now, this modern day, most 60% of this modern day Japanese are not the originals of Japan. This is what this discovery is explaining to us. 60% of these people in Japan today are not the originals. Now, where do they come from? These are things that further we will get to understand as we keep excavating, because we are in the era, I told you, we're in the new world. Nothing can hold the truth back, except if you don't want to hear it. That is when you will be in the know. But when you open your heart and your mind, of course, everything will come to you like plainly. All right. The modern Japanese claim that they are the original inhabitants, but no. The Mongoloids, the Ainus, whose skin color is dark, or black or brown were up north before, and they are aware of this. Now let's go to our professor and listen to him. I just like the energy when he speaks, right? A lot of people do not agree with him. I do not know why, but we all have our different.
Umar, they walked out of the temples and their skin was just as black as ours. I once had a professor of mine working on my doctorate tell me that she went to Japan and they went into the mountains of Japan. Now, this isn't a conscious woman by most definitions, but she couldn't wait to come back and tell me this. She said, Umar, I was in Japan. We went up into the spiritual temples of Japan and we sat down in one of the temples waiting for the priest to come out and teach us a little bit about what they believe and what they stand for. She said, Umar, they walked out of the temples and their skin was just as black as ours. They had gray afros because they were elders. Now, she said the phenotype looked like the modern Asian. But she said the skin was black and they had gray afros, hair standing up on top like Don King. And she said it totally overcame me. They sat down and they began to talk. And she said I couldn't believe these were black men. They were Japanese, but they were black men.
You get that right. And a whole lot of times you begin to wonder, why is it that history is washed and turned over? They washed it, you know how they washed it, and they turn it over. Like, the truth is always pushed away just for selfish gain and interest. Now, this is exactly how the world runs. Right from everywhere, the melanated are the kings and queens of this world, because we are the originals. I don't want to be YouTube's friend. But your majesties, you know all these things. It is there in your heart, you feel it. You understand when I talk. I think so, except if you're not part of us, you know, one of us, you will not understand. But anyway, I just felt like sharing this, and we will still do more research. Sweetheart, we are not leaving this slide off. We're going to go deeper into it. Let us know why. Because the young lady on the other video was seriously, oh my goodness, we are African ancestry. We are your brothers and sisters. You get what she was doing, right? And it was a bit hilarious, and it's like she's just joking. You know, it was just on the lighter note, let it be like, oh, she's joking. But that is the truth. Hidden in plain sight. That's what they always do. Now, maybe someone have told her, or she have read some books and discovered that, oh, we are really part of these people. We are really part of these people. And it is the reason why you get them the way they are. Most of the times, I keep talking about this eugenics. This mixture of gene. We tell ourselves, oh, it's love. It's where love pushes you to, you flow with it. No one can deny love. It's whatever. Love do not know color. Love do not know this. This is what is bringing us to where we are. Or this is what brought us to the situation we are today. We are so free. We take them as wives. We mix with them. The issue in Egypt today is because of this little thing that could have been avoided. Mixture of genes. Although anyway, their own is because they were invaded, and you know, things that were done by force. But this is just the main thing. Wherever you see people struggling for who is there, who is not there, you should know that something has happened while history was upcoming. Something happened. Something happened. There is something, the mixture of DNA, mixture of genes. This is what results to most of the things that is causing conflicts here and there today. Now, since we are aware of it, why do we still, still telling ourselves, no, there's nothing wrong with it? Because whatever we do today, our children will be the one to face it tomorrow. The way we are facing what was not avoided in the past. You get where I'm coming from, and I hope you get where I'm going to. We have to protect our line, our lineage. We shouldn't pollute our bloodline, because the more we keep polluting our bloodline, we give room for the enemy to come in, and then you begin to see some things here and there that shouldn't be happening, because we are the ones that, we left ourselves so vulnerable for the enemy. What do you think, sweetheart? Your majesties, leave your comment and thought there at this section, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, sweetheart. Love yourself. Be true to yourself. Do what makes you happy. Try to realize who you really are. Like, live your life in your own terms. Love others as well. Love others as well. Stay safe, stay positive. Bye for now.